Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. And this is a Friday chill stream experiment. I'm sorry. I got to do it. I stole this idea from my friend Chris Mitchell. Don't be expecting anything original here. And I'm testing out a kind of new audio Wi-Fi setup that I don't know is going to work. Hey, Sonic Viper, thanks for stopping by. Chris Mitchell, yeah, you just got jacked. I was trying to get in on your stream and I was too late. And so I decided to try this out. I'm very curious if my audio is working, though. I don't know if it is. The bigotry overflowing up in here. Hey, I look to the emperor, okay, as my example, right? I am not my own man. I check what's going on, what's popular, and then, I adopt, and adapt to that whole circumstance. 5x5, holy smokes. That means that I have a whole bunch of pre-processing audio capabilities up front, pre-processing, which to me, just kind of like adds a little spice to the main dish, because because my voice sucks, and without audio processing, compressors, noise gates, and shit like that, nobody would ever listen to me, right? That was my big, that was the thing that got me over the hump. No, I'm just fucking around. So I have no plan as to what to talk about here. I didn't even have an idea. I just saw somebody else doing something and I was like, wow, that's pretty fucking cool. And then I'm going to do it. Right? So if your parents ever asked you, if your friends jumped off a cliff, would you do it too? Well, unfortunately, I was one of those kids that was, that had to say, well, yeah, I guess I would, right? So if everybody's doing it, yeah, I'll just do it too. Oh, boy. What do you think about rights and freedoms? What do I think about? Well, I try not to think about them because if I think about them, freedom grower, I become upset and I become angry. And then I start making videos and they get pretty nasty, I'm thinking I have to remake one of my old videos known as The Bitch Effect because it has become so dominant in Western technological society that it's amazing. We can't even see the level of bitchiness that women have adopted. I was checking out birth rates, and yeah, we've lost over 20%. I was just doing some basic research to talk about, how bad things have gotten. And, it occurs to me, well, check the birth rates. And yeah, the population growth rates, we're not going to make it. America is actually better off than most places because we have more young people. But eventually, and I'm talking just a mere 20 years, the entire population is going to invert, meaning you're going to have, 1 billion old people and 20 million, young people. So it's going to be like, well, who are you going to tax? Who are you going to steal the Social Security money? How are you going to run your Ponzi scheme when you've got 1 billion people? Well, okay, let's say, 150 million people who want to get paid out, but you've only got 30 or 40 million paying in, right? That's when the whole Ponzi scheme comes crashing down. And that's exactly what we're looking at. America, with its younger population, with a few more kids here, can last a little longer on those world global economic meltdown that's coming, right? Yes, the end of the road for consumerism. Yes, you will reach the blind alley of our cultural, socioeconomic plan and vision. And that's when everybody gets old Everybody gets sick. Everybody needs health insurance. And there's no children, no young people coming into the system, paying into it and building it up. That's what we're looking at right now. But consider this, MGTOW. The men have no motivation. Have women ever been this bad? Like, can we go through history and can we check, were women ever this duplicitous? Were they ever this entitled? Were they ever this hateful? Were they ever this resentful of their biological role? Look at the trans movement. What do you think is going on there? These people don't want to be the biological sex that they are. You're screwed. How more screwed could you be, right? Like, I want to be tall and play basketball like LeBron James, right? But it's not in the cards. But I can still play basketball, right? These people, they don't even want to be the biological sex that they are anymore. That's how harsh our roles have become. And this idea of offering people the option to no longer be who and what you are. Seductive, isn't it? Don't think that artificial intelligence doesn't play into this also, because it does, right? We're dying for the fucking mastermind brain to tell us everything what to do. This is what consumers must have, right? And what a terrible place for the men to have to come to, servants to women who despise them, trying to win the favor of governments that wish to destroy them, okay? Where do you turn? What do you do? How do you get a human life in order? These are the questions, that bear down on me, Howard Dare. Now, I know I haven't been making a lot of content lately, because if you guys had the smallest inkling of what I'm going through with the pressure that the state is putting me under, the limiting of my rights, the chances and the risks I'm taking just to talk to you now, you'd be like, no worries, Howard, chill, take care of what you got to take care of. But this is part of what I got to take care of. Let me ask you, my MGTOW brothers, a question, a favor. How do you plan your future when the state, the women, a culture around you can just destroy everything that you've worked for and everything you've built in the blink of an eye? They can just throw a false accusation your way, all right? And you're going to jail. And it doesn't matter if you're guilty or innocent. They have you, and they can hold you for many, many years. So in a situation like that, how do you plan your life? How do you plan your future? How do you say, I'm going to build a business? How do you say, I'm going to get in good shape? For what? So that they can throw you in a dark hole and torture you? And if you think I'm being melodramatic, I am not. Okay? And if you think all of you are going to escape this future, I wish to God you would, and I wish to God you could. But I know that some of you can't, right? So what kind of strength, what kind of insight, what kind of wisdom, what kind of fortitude do you need? And there isn't a thing in the world, you know what I mean, that I can do to get you ready. Except I can tell you this, character is gold, okay? It's not the money you've got. It's not the friends you have. It's not the job you have right now. It's the voice in your head. It's your own conscience. It's your own moral, ethical certainty. It's your own faith, your own hopes, your own dreams, your own goals that are independent of all this bullshit. And if you can tap into it, okay, that's the seed, that's the root, that's where you grow from, that's where you build from, and nobody can take that away from you. So this is the message that I'm trying to put out there. How's it going? Can everybody hear me okay? Have I got anybody in here? Phil's here. Trans Gamer is here. Woohoo! No, thank you guys, really. Phil says, I've only seen women this hateful in science fiction dystopias. Oh, shit. Wait a minute. Yeah, exactly, right? When you come to this realization that, these movies that were and stories that are so outlandish and crazy, from a metaphorical point of view, from a symbolic point of view, it's like, no, they're dead on. They're just actually scratching the tip of the iceberg. This goes deeper. And I don't know. I don't know how the men, especially the young men, can maneuver their way through this system. It's a trap. It's a trick. It's designed like a consumer Chinese finger trap, okay? You want what you want. And the world around you encourages you to want these things. And, that this is ambition. And I don't know that these are ambitions. In other words, yeah, she's a beautiful girl, right? She's a beautiful woman and you're attracted to her. Does that mean you want to spend your life with somebody who's as empty and vain and meaningless as, an inflatable doll? Is that what that means? Does that mean that you'll sacrifice your life and give everything just to be with this woman? Is that what that means? It can't mean that. If it means that, you're screwed, right? That means any pretty face and you lose everything. And what if, you don't even get near the girl, okay? The male Black Widow spider, you think he's going in there and getting laid and then she eats him. Bullshit. He comes near her and she eats him. And while she's busy eating him and all of his friends, one of them gets to sneak up from behind and get it done. And he's probably not getting away either, right? Because after he's done, he's like, yeah, I'm just going to chill and I'm going to have a smoke, right? And she's like, yeah, chill, have a smoke. Let me get you some food. Ha-ha. And then she regurgitates all the meals that she's eaten, onto him. And then she encases him. And that, of course, breaks him down, into the syrup that she needs. And then she, goes into the cocoon, the silken cocoon that she's made for you and just sucks the life essence out of you. And if you think I'm being melodramatic, I think I'm actually being kind of complimentary, because the truth is you're going to jail, right? Under false accusations, and you're losing everything. And I even mean your standing within your society, okay? You're losing that. If you're a proud man, no, you don't get to keep that. So what am I supposed to say, right? What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to come on and put out videos about women's hypergamy? About how they're willing to, sleep around? How they don't seem to want to take care of their kids? How they seem to want a free ride from the government? How they let their health and their psychological and emotional state and sense of entitlement rise, fall and rise to such a level that we don't even have science fiction stories, that can adequately represent what's going on. And so when I say, yeah, man, once I start talking, you know what I mean? I really can start talking. And even though I haven't been here for a while, don't think for a second that I haven't been in the thick of some of the most horrible kind of life situations. We're talking about addiction. We're talking about homelessness. We're talking about every kind of psychological problem, right? And I laugh because, what are you going to do? You got to see the humor in this stuff. And there is a weird kind of sick humor on the far end of it, gallows humor. Right. Those are the jokes you tell, as you're going to the, to the hangman's noose. A kind of divinity play where the lead actors go to heaven, right? This is a morality divinity play where we come and we give you this story about what's right and what's wrong. And then the wrong person, they hang by the neck until they're dead, and then they rise to heaven. A morality play. So welcome to your life. And, like the message is more along the lines of, wow, I didn't do anything wrong, and this system completely screwed me and tried to destroy me. And you're thinking, what the fuck is the message in that, Howard? Right? But there is a message in that. And it's actually a great message, but it's a brutal one to go through. It's like childbirth, So all these things that, matter to you and are important to you and motivate you and are virtues and you hold in high regard. The rest of the world can use it to tear you to pieces. And you'll want to give up. And you'll ask yourself, why am I putting myself through this? But then, there's this other side of it. Kind of like, that's right. There is no real rhyme or reason to this, but it's what I believe. And I'm going to be true to what I believe. And I don't even know that what I believe is absolutely true. I have no proof of that. This is like a moral, ethical conviction on how to behave, how to be in the world, how to interact moment to moment with your existence. And it's not empty. It's not meaningless. It's not vain. It's material. It's the real stuff that keeps you going. And that is what I wish to speak to. That is what I wish to awaken. That is what I wish to help you find again, right? Because we give it up. The system beats us down. And then shit, not a single one of you thinks that a single woman out there is worth a dime. MGTOW, right? That's harsh. That's harsh. Surely there are some that in some capacity at some time are of value to you, not merely for sex. Surely there are. But are you going to take the chance? Are you going to get involved with her? Expose yourself, expose the very few things left in life that you care about for her to just destroy them, and for the culture and the society and the people around her to cheer her on? You go, girl. That's a bad man. That's not a bad man. That's just a man, right? And the girl going is basically just a bunch of ugly demons fucking encouraging her to be this entitled demon princess bitch from hell. Sorry. But again, what am I going to do? What is Howard Dare going to do? Just come on and complain about women? Shit, that's a waste of my time, right? That's a waste of everybody's time. And we just get all angry, right? Now, some of the women, they're quite beautiful, aren't they? Especially, when they're younger and fertile, right? Good times, no reason to deny yourself that. But are you going to get trapped? Are you going to be so enamored with the image of the beautiful woman that you sacrifice your own kind of moral standing and ethical regard for yourself? Would you do anything for her? And I think that the society and the culture around us encourages us to kind of like have this kind of what they would call toxic masculinity. I don't call it toxic masculinity, but this kind of, transactional view towards female relationships, because that's what it's been reduced to. And so the whole idea, that you could make some sort of a connection, meaningful, beneficial. It's like that's crazy. That's absurd, man. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, everybody. This is straight out of 1984 with Winston Smith, and Julia. And he can't love her. He can't have feelings of, bonding with her. He can only imagine her being degraded and used and abused, a gangbang by the higher ups in government. That's what his mental construct of the woman has become. Right? And that's what ours is too. That's why, that's why men love sluts. That's why, tarted up makeup and push up bras and fake tits and, wigs. That's why. That's what appeals to him. That attracts him because that's what his conception of what a woman is has been reduced to, because that's actually closer to the reality. It's not just his conception reduced. It's like, no, that's actually a kind of accurate picture, right? So what do? Do I come around and complain and bitch and moan about that? What do I care? What do you care, right? And yet, kind of feels like we've been cheated, Feels like the good men have been cheated. I don't even think the men think of themselves as the good men. I think the men think of themselves as toxic masculinity monsters. I think the men think of themselves the way that society projects onto the men. I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am. And that's who you're interacting with, right? And that's probably who they're interacting from. So we're reacting, to this mental image avatar of what we think a woman is. And she's reacting to her mental avatar of what she thinks society and she thinks men are. So, we're not even talking to each other. We're not even really looking at each other. And that's just fine, right? That's actually great for, a consumer, for, somebody living, for all of us living in a completely fucking detached world. We're more attached to our material possessions than we are to our own sense of being. So these are the questions that I ask. And now, right, I can tell you that the birth rates have been declining ridiculously, precipitously over the last, 50 years, but especially over the last 20 years, that it happens in advanced technological societies. I can tell you that I don't think women have ever been this bad. I don't think the situation has ever been this bad, but I really can't compare. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have that standard of reference. So let's say here I am, 55 years old. Okay. And I get to say, women have never been this bad in all my 55 years. But now I'm talking to a 20-year-old guy. And what's he saying? He's saying, they don't seem that bad to me. See what I mean? The point of reference is different. It really is like the frog in the slow boiling water. Like, we don't realize how bad it is, but the women don't want to be women. And you can understand this kind of from a biological point of view, right? Like, here's a species and it needs to reproduce, but if it was just asexual, it could never pull it off because, while they're pregnant, they would still need to get food and eat and protect and things like that. So can't be done. So now you've got a sexually dimorphic species, okay? And one of them bears the children, and they can't work, and they can't defend, and they can't protect. And the other one can do those things because they're not carrying the child. Now, this species, whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it's human or a fish, whatever, evolves certain traits to facilitate this process. Here we are. Men, if you want to raise children, men need women. And if women want to raise healthy, strong children that are not slaves of the state, they need men. But the state says no. You don't need the man. The man is toxic. The man is not, good quality. He's not good genetics, and he's not good economically, right? So the men are undercut. So this whole system, this whole evolved evolutionary system of codependency is now got a monkey wrench in it. And the women become the government hookers, and they become slaves to industry and to the economics of the situation. So the women don't need the men. And how do they become? When you make things too easy for a species, when you give them free food, when you make it so they don't even have to protect themselves, what happens? They fall to pieces. So struggle, challenge, these are part of the things that make us strong. Gravity, okay? If there's no gravity, we lose our muscle tone, right? So you make things too nice for the women, and the entire evolutionary sexually dimorphic process goes off the rails. Now we don't have population replacement anywhere near it. None of the countries do. You can't pay the people enough to have children. You can't pay the men enough to get together with these women and breed with them and raise those children. The governments are giving off all the money they can, right? What is it, like North Korea? Or is it South Korea? Yeah, I'm sorry, South Korea. Yeah. they just can't exist in like 20 years. That's it, right? That's how entitled the women are. That's how much free stuff they get. That's how little they need their men. Not for protection, not for resources, not for guidance to raise their children, not for help to raise their children, time-wise, not for protection from any number of, kind of social dangers. Don't need him. Man, that's cold, isn't it? Now, what are the men going to do? What are the young men going to do? They're biologically designed to fill these roles, and there's no role to fill. These are the gender roles I'm talking about. And I can tell you, as an old timer, they used to be kind of tasty and delicious. You would get these nice big fluffy rolls, and they would have cinnamon in them, and they would be light and fluffy and tasty gender rolls. But then, the women just didn't want to bake anymore, and the bread got stale and hard and no flavor to it. Like you pick up a gender roll now, and you could like bash a nail into the wall with it. You could use it like as a hockey puck, but you don't want to eat it. That's for sure. You don't want to live it. That's for sure. Oh, there you go. Good evening, Mr. Archie F. Yeah, I got that one. I got it exactly. Yeah, that was something I learned a long time ago, right? You just pretend that you know what how to pronounce words and shit. And the people who don't know, they don't know. And the people who do know, they just roll their eyes. Which, is the better outcome, right? It's by far the better outcome than standing there and stuttering, and tripping all over a fucking word. What's going on? Falling off. How's my audio? Is my audio okay? Anybody want to come in here? Let's try that. Let's invite other people in to talk to Howard Dare. That's crazy, The reason why I say that it's crazy is because if you guys knew what I've been through over the last 5 years, you'd be like, no, don't talk to him. He's going to rip you to pieces. It's like, or how do you relate? Here, let me see if I'm going to post the link in the chat. Invite. There it is. Check that shit out. Copy. Post. Here it is. Oh, yeah. I don't know if that link is going to post in the chat. I just put the StreamYard into the chat because YouTube has taken away my ability to post links to other sites. Yes, so it's working. Okay, this is amazing. This is technology. What is it, like 2024 now?
What's going on, Mr. Howard?
The Emperor of Canada is here, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Mr. Mitchell. Thanks for stopping by.
No worries, buddy. Like I said,
it was on your.
I was planning on getting another one up and running in a few hours, but yeah, this will definitely make a good filler while I'm waiting for everybody.
Excellent.
How's my
audio? That's what I was thinking. Just fine. Perfect.
No feedback.
No feedback. How's my audio? Is it clear, crisp, no feedback?
This is great. Yours is great, man.
Excellent.
No,
this is what I
about, buddy. Because I mean,
all
right, go ahead.
Well, I just want to hear your thoughts on what I was talking about.
Well, I mean, they built this mouse utopia that we're all living in, right? And of course, with one side being beneficiaries of it, even on a small scale, receiving peanuts, right, compared to what they're actually losing.
Yeah,
I mean, we're not just fighting our enemy; we're fighting our own fucking people, right? Or the other side, which is the other.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
And when they have control of our children, you get, the adult male feminist type, right?
Exactly.
Or the guys that think, fucking another dude that has and not gay.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the other men are trying to destroy. The men are destroying the other men too.
Yeah.
It's the last good man syndrome.
Yeah. I mean, we're being attacked on all fronts. No matter how you look at it.
And we're competing for the affection of women who really don't like us.
No, because they've been programmed not to like us.
Indeed, they don't need it. They don't need men. They don't need men to help raise their children, to get their money, and it shows in their behavior.
Well, and not only that, Howard, like, let's be honest. Most people that are young adults now between the ages of, say, 16 to 25, right? I'll even go as high as 30. They just think shit happens. Like, the lights are on because there's lights. The roads are the way they are because there's just roads. You know what I mean? They have no idea the steps of how you get what you need from point A to point B. They don't understand the process of production for feeding or stocking grocery stores. They don't understand anything. Nothing.
No, they don't. The women don't understand it either. The women don't understand it, and they can't even do it.
No, but that's just it. It's not just women. It's everybody in that age group now. You know what I mean? Or a large majority of them. They've become the super meek. Like, we're not talking meek on a level when, people mention, the meek will inherit the earth bullshit. They are fucking like ultra fucking meek.
Yeah.
It, like you said, if something were to happen and they couldn't call on somebody to fucking come save them, they're done.
Yeah. No, it's true, and even the younger men who are coming up in this system, are being indoctrinated into the idea that a woman is just as good as a man, which means a man is no different from a woman, and the woman is going to fold When the hard times come, she's going to fold, and then that's perfectly understandable. But the man can't afford to fold. And this is what worries me so much, is that the young men, they can't give up. I can't just say, well, we're all fucked and it's all over. That I can't say that. They can't quit. They don't have that. They don't have the luxury that the women have.
All we can do is, with the children that we can fucking keep, you know what I mean? We have to basically keep them away from the public schools, keep them away from the social medias that are literally infecting every platform out there. Like, have you
Thank you.
Yes. Sesame Street lately? Have you watched that?
No, I'm afraid. I'm afraid to.
The rainbow flag is fucking like everywhere.
Oh God. Everywhere. Yeah, the rainbow mafia. They're a fucking mafia, They really are. They're like this social kind of gangsters that are just tearing down all of our decent institutions that have basically been the bedrock of human society and human life. And they're just tearing them down with glee, we enjoy, as if this is like a moral calling, and this is the call of postmodernism, just tear it all down.
Well, and Howard,
nothing to replace it with.
This is the stage that they're at now, because, like we've stated for decades, they destroyed the family unit. That has been removed.
Yep.
Or at best, he's a fucking cuckold feminist. So he's just as bad as or the schools that they're trying to indoctrinate them in, right? So,
yep. Oh yeah.
Like, honestly, if you were to meet a 22-year-old young man now who was raised by a single mother, went through the public school system, what kind of person do you think you're fucking looking at?
I think I'm looking at a leftist that is going to indoctrinate me into trans activism,
Exactly. They don't even know who the fuck they are anymore. Like I said, we've got young adult men that are fucking each other and trying to say they're not gay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're just open-minded, right? They've just got this very forward mindset. They're not like they're not like old school toxic masculinity, and they don't know any better. And it's destroying them. And I don't know exactly how to, fix it or change the course. I don't know how to just make MGTOW videos, to just, be like, the women are bitches.
Essentially, this house of cards is falling down like crazy, right? Like, even with the Tucker Carlson thing where he interviewed Putin the other day, like, I'm kind of thinking, like, the red pill as a whole covers almost everything. Like you said, it covers government oppression, it covers fucking social oppression, it covers everything, right? Cutting your tie to that youth. And let's be honest, as I stated in the start of my stream tonight, I don't care what side you were on or what side you're for. People died. Lots of them died and are dying today for corruption of a few. How much more
you were talking
do you need to be?
You were talking about something in Ukraine on your stream a little while ago. Has something happened there that because I'm not really connected?
Well, they're still getting their asses kicked, but I mean, it was mainly what we, most of us anyway, kind of thought what was going on. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't trust Vladimir Putin that much either, but you know what? What he said made sense. With what you have seen, with what you've heard, what's going on, you can say, you know what, this makes more sense than what my own government is telling me here in the West.
Right? Well, it is his backyard. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's gonna tell, like if America and Canada want to, mix it up, nobody on the other side of the world gets to tell us what to do.
Exactly. But they funded this. You know what I mean? Like there was a reason why the first world countries, as we like to call them, like the ones we live in, right? That are far from fucking first world anymore. They're the ones sending all of our money over there, yet it's having no effect really. Like, where is the money going? Like I said, we sent over a ton of new RPGs and stuff, right? That we had here in Canada. We sent them over to Ukraine. 5 months later, mobs were buying the same weapons in Alaska. Figure that the fuck out. How did the weapons that Canada sent to Ukraine go from Ukraine to Alaska? And they're using it?
I'm sorry.
Are you fucking serious? Like, do you not see like a bit of a situation here?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're at the end of their game.
And the innocent people are dying on all sides, and the people, lacing their pockets with money are just getting fat.
Exactly. It's nothing but a money laundering. That's it. Right? And they can't hide it anymore.
Yeah.
They're not even hiding. They're not even lying good. You know what I mean? Like I said a few years ago, they stopped trying.
Right. Well, the emperor's new clothes. The emperor's new clothes, man.
They know that the population is cowed enough and emasculated enough that they can literally do whatever the fuck they want. If they want to send American soldiers over there tomorrow, you will see fucking people lining up on the boat because they can't say no. Not because they can't. They won't. They physically can't. Just not go along with it. So
what do we do? Would I rather? Hey, well, I've been in jail, and I'll tell you, it's not the men in jail that you're needing to be worried about. It's the institution. It's the prison guards and their attitude, their gynocentric attitude. Okay, there's no escape, and it's not good.
Right now, if a enlisted soldier said, "Hey, I'm not going to Ukraine. You can go fuck yourself," right?
Yeah,
I believe they do give them some kind of charge. They give them possibly a short jail sentence or a dishonorable discharge. At least they're fucking alive. They're not sent over to a meat grinder. Because that's all that is a fucking meat grinder.
I cannot see or justify the idea of sending a single American soldier over into that area and putting them in harm's way, or Canadian, or any other countries. This is an issue between Russia, Ukraine, in my opinion. They're the ones who are going to have to work it out. And it's corruption. That's what's going on here. And it's old men getting rich and young men dying.
Yeah, well, it's a Western problem only because we let these people start it. Right?
Yes, we let them start it. Indeed, we did, right? Is there any way for us to take back control as men of our country and society? I know that we can do it individually. I know that the individual man can get his life in order and pursue a decent life. Is there any way that we can make it to where that becomes part of our society again? Like that's the direction that most of us are going in, as opposed to the direction of slavery and servitude to, virtues and ideals that don't even respect us?
With your current politicians, no.
Right. There's too much money. There's too much power.
There's too much corruption.
There's too much political.
The tree, like the tree of politics or government, right? It's not got a corrupt brand. It's literally built of corruption. There's nothing left to save. Like there's no You got to go back to like just personal fucking, moral grounds. And that's going to be hard to find in today's age. Right?
It is going to be hard to find in today's age. It's going to be nearly impossible unless you had a kind of group sustained effort, to do that. Look, the principles of individual freedom, the principles of expression, the principles of community and building and something greater than ourselves. These are worthy principles and ideals. They can sustain us. They have sustained us to a certain level of greatness. Now, corruption has come into all of this deeply, like a cancer. But there's still, we don't need to throw the baby out with the bathwater. The corruption is bad, but there's still some good part of human nature and the human future that I think is worthy and worth fighting for.
Oh, it's definitely worth fighting for. It's just that nobody has actually used it in such a long time. Everybody has become just as selfish and self-centered as our politicians because they don't live on the same level as us. They don't see you as a human being. They don't, right? I mean,
no, they don't.
I'll never forget this one clip where Joe Biden went to visit like a coal mine or a fucking smeltery or something, and he almost flipped out like, "You're a fucking idiot if you think I work for you." Like, that's what he almost said. You know what I mean? Just from
yeah.
And it was probably the one time a politician actually told the truth or was about to.
Amazing. Fucking amazing. Yeah. Well, these questions, these problems, they tear at me. They stick inside of my soul. And I've got no great answer for this stuff. You know what I mean? It's like I can't come on here and say, just work out for 20 minutes a day and take your multivitamins. Thanks, everybody. That's a kind of casual cruelty. Like I'm not even acknowledging what how deep the problem is. So I'm searching for meaning, for purpose, for the ability to contribute, to this larger thing. And it's frustrating as hell. You know what I mean?
Well, Howard, just taking away your participation, right? In one way is the very bare minimum we can do, but it's also one of the most effective we can do, right? If I'm not willing to play ball with you, and I don't give a fuck what laws are, okay? Laws are whatever you can fucking enforce. If you get fucking overwhelmed trying to enforce a law, guess what? It ain't a law no more, right? Now it's whatever the fucking other person says, or the other side. But again, this goes back to we self-police. They've got us so well trained that we self-police. And I don't give a fuck what country you're in. Really don't. You are born with every right that God could give you, right, on this earth. The only thing a government can do is take them away and restrict them. That's all they can do. Right? Here in this country right now, in this first world country, if someone were to break into my house and try to murder me, it is illegal for me, according to my government, it is illegal for me to defend myself.
Exactly.
Now, here's the thing. Are you going to look at that and say, well, because it's the law, I guess, just stab me to death or cut my head off. You'll get yours in the end, right? Maybe.
Right?
Or
maybe.
Do I put 10 rounds in him, drag him out in my car, throw him in the trunk, along with the shovel, and take him for a ride up the dirt road?
Yeah, that sounds like the better plan to me.
Okay, well, you're my peer, right? You're another.
Exactly.
Let's say you're my neighbor. You're at least my countryman. Are you going to look at me in a court of law and say, "Yep, what he did was wrong"?
Well, they're going to force me to do that. They're going to read that law to me in such a way that I have no choice but to say that.
Here's the thing: they're trying to get rid of people being able to have juries over judges.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't matter. And guess what? Some guy who doesn't give a fuck, who's being paid by the same system, is going to throw your ass in jail forever.
Exactly. Here's and so what?
If in my community, right? Let's say I got 60 people around me in my community, within like 250 yards. I'll drag the motherfucker out and be like, "Hey, everyone, this motherfucker just tried killing me and my kid, and I fucking put him down. Where are we burying him? As long as everyone else there says, hey, we can bury him in the river or next to the river over here, there ain't fuck all 20 police officers are going to do when they come out from fucking a nearby town. Like, oh, he broke the law. Nope, not in ours. Guess what? You can't enforce that law because we outnumber you fucking 2-1. And
see, what we're talking about are the inalienable rights that are referred to. And the idea is that God, the universe, gave you life, and you're entitled to have that life because obviously the universe gave it to you. So no man should be allowed, nobody should be allowed to take it from you. And inherent in that right that the universe gave you is also the right of freedom of expression, because you're going to need to be able to express yourself, to take care of your wants and needs. And this is the pursuit of happiness. So these things, they're basic fundamental ideas that if we don't extend them to other people, it's hard for us to claim them for ourselves, and it's going to be very hard for us to exist except in a state of, destruction and murder and war. And yet, our society, our culture, through consumerism, through economics, through political cancel culture, social power, peer-to-peer propaganda, is infringing on these basic human rights. And the human beings are breaking down like the mice in the Mouse Utopia experiment. And I'm one of them. Yeah. Well, is my audio okay still?
Apparently when I speak it's doing some feedback maybe. I think even I can hear it.
All right, I'm going to try to make some adjustments.
Well, I'll try to get my earbuds to attach.
No, it's not you. No, not you.
But yeah, what you're talking about, what I'm talking about, is essentially natural law, right?
Mm-hmm.
And natural law says you're born with everything that everybody else has. If you have to fight tooth and nail and fucking kill your way to so that you can live to see tomorrow, so be it. It's not wrong to defend yourself or your life or your offspring. It's wrong to go out and try to fucking murder somebody else for no goddamn reason other than to take what they have. Now you're fair game then, right? That makes you a primary target for everyone else. And that's it. All our governments have ever done is restrict that. So the idea of, pursuit of happiness, the right to live free, blah, blah, blah. Those are just ideas that are talking pieces for you to feel better about them fucking doing whatever they want. And until if Texas does not blow the fuck up and go into full-on civil war with the rest of the country, along with its allies, it's never going to happen. So I can't remember who the Texas governor is, but if he can be bought off, right, which most of them can be for the right price, including like the one here in Edmonton, there's no point in this. It's all just fucking, a magic show or fucking goddamn distraction at best. right? It's them trying to save face. You're either in or you're fucking out. You're either going to lead people to a better tomorrow, even if you have to send them out to fucking die for their freedoms. At least you're giving them that chance, right? Right now, we're having people walk straight into the fucking incinerators. Literally, up here, people are having themselves a medically assisted on suicide thing, right? In droves because they have like stupid simple ailments. That's how fucked up it is. Rather than being able to, get a service that is provided by even our country's federal fucking side of things that we pay for, they're saying, hey, instead of us taking care of those needs that you have, how about you just kill yourself? We'll help. We might harvest a few organs on the way, but we'll help, right? And people are actually signing up for it. So, okay, let's take the worst group that we know of, the German Nazi fucking Third Reich. They fucking shoved people into furnaces, right, and into gas chambers. We are now them, but we don't need to be forced. We'll just walk straight in. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Oh wait, you don't need another because you're going to be dead in a couple of minutes.
Hmm.
It's insane.
Perhaps this is the blind alley, the end of the road for your consumer based, popularity based society. I hope my audio is working okay.
It's a little quiet on my end. Let me go get my headphones at least.
Well, no reason, Chris, because I think we're going to shut this one down, get some more of my technical problems worked out and let, some of the other MGTOW step up and continue the Friday chill stream tradition. I'm thinking I want to do that and get my audio situation worked out a little better. So, I appreciate everybody stopping by on this spur of the moment stream. I'm hoping to do more of them moving forward. Uh, I've got some trials coming up very soon, which will determine whether I exist or I do not exist. And it's hard. It's hard to plan the future. You know what I mean? When it really is the sword of Damocles, right? The sword, that's hanging over your head every night as you sleep, attached by a very thin wire and, just a string, and it can fall at any moment. It's hard to make plans when you sleep underneath that sword. So, do you have any closing thoughts that you want to share here, Chris?
Well, I'd have to think that the most disappointing part of all of this, like to where we are now in the short time, like the last 5-10 years, the most depressing part about it is we were warned that this would happen somewhere around 80, 70, 80 years ago, you know? Um, George Orwell would probably be shocked. If you
Okay.
don't know who that is, go look it up.
Right.
But he would be fucking shocked.
Yeah. Yeah. George Orwell would be like, shit, I never anticipated this. This is crazy.
Yeah. My book was supposed to be about fiction. You guys took it to the whole new level.
Yeah, well, hey, that we do, right? And
Yeah.
I guess on that note, on that positive note, that maybe things can get worse, but maybe they can get better too. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to try to clean this whole situation up and do some more of these, and hopefully, we can have a good time and maybe make a positive difference in the
Well,
future.
I think we are. I mean, even the MGTOW community, just that portion of it. All we had to do was say we're not participating anymore. We made the headlines, baby. We're terrorists in their eyes,
Mm,
right? So
okay.
hey, maybe we need to relook at that too and see if all these people that we were told to hate are really that bad. Or is it
Mm,
our guys? Are we the baddies?
right. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, gonna leave it at that for now, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, share, comment, subscribe, donate. Especially donate. Help me out over on Cash App, and I'll look around if some of you guys start up some streams. Maybe I'll show up over there and try to break in. So thank you, everybody, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Howard, for coming back and having me on, sir.
My pleasure. Have a great night, everybody.